Hi, so in this video, I will show you how AI helps you to build a full to-do web app from scratch. And we are going to talk about the front end, which I'm going to build with Gemini and Cursor. As well, you can use anti-gravity if that's what you can use right now. And we are going to talk about GitHub setup, okay, and how to push to get commits. Alright, we are going to do UI designs and add some features and functionalities as well. So don't miss out. And we are going to talk about Firebase setup, and I'm going to show you how to get free domain and hosting on Firebase. So if you think, before you think you are missing out, this is why you need to start building with AI now. This to-do app is going to help you plan your day and get a timetable for you to study, so my first prompt that I started building, I'm using Google Studio, so you just go to Google Studio. Alright, so when you go to Google Studio, then this is it. This is Gemini 3. I'm using Gemini 3. You might land on the home page, okay, and you go to build, okay, and this is Gemini 3. That's what I'm using. So I'm going to close it now, and let's go back to our project. And the main goal, I gave it to create a single code base React plus capacitor, which will be deployed on the web, okay, so, and also wrapped into mobile apps. And I'll use Firebase for my backend for storing data and other things. Okay, so I wrote my first prompt, and this is what I got, or this is what I got. So someone be like, Papi, I don't understand this code stuff, but come on, this is vibe coding that we are doing, so you don't need to understand the code stuff, right? So whatever app idea you have in mind, you can just put in the prompt and let's go. So I got this first shot, okay, and this is my home page. Okay, so you are going to see today's shadows here. Alright, and this is for to do. Alright, you are going to take your tasks here, and this is some feature I wanted to add for recording. Alright, so you're going to be able to record your class and summarize it with AI here. You can see everything here. So I'm going to work on this scheduling side because I don't really see anything going on. So I'm typing in a prompt, which is to make the student add schedule timetable format, something more, something you can work with. Okay, so let's go. I entered the prompt and push it, and it's already working, manifesting. Let's see what Google Studio is going to get for me. And Google Studio is what I use for the app logic. And from here, we are going to go to Cursor. Alright, I'm going to go to Cursor to continue the development and doing the database and all the other stuffs, okay, hosting and everything. I'm going to use Cursor. You can use Visual Studio and a bit of OpenAI to collaborate if you don't have Cursor Pro. Alright, so this is the inbuilt feature that I requested. I said it should help me, add a section that we can add timetable, schedules and all that. So you can add class Monday, Tuesday, whatever. I don't know why it left Sunday out, but yeah, I guess left Sunday out. I mean, you don't learn on Sundays. You learn on Sundays or Saturdays. Come on. So I'm going to make it add Saturday and Sunday because that is it. I don't take breaks. Anyway, I don't take breaks. I'm a freelancer. You really don't have any day offs. Your day off could be a Monday, Tuesday, so every day is for serious business. Alright, so I didn't like the UI. Alright, so I said no, let me just work on this. So this video is probably just for just front end. Okay, so how I go through the front end and how I build the app logic. Okay, so with the UI, I just made a screenshot from Dribble and pasted it into our Gemini code and asked it to replicate that UI. And you can see this is the screenshot. Okay, so I said let's work on the UI. That's just it. And it took the UI and created a theme, and it created dashboard design. It redesigned the app structure in the code base. So with Gemini, this is the code base. You can just check your code base here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this when I go to Cursor. All right, so this is the code base and this is the preview. So this is how I got this UI. If you're asking, hey, how did you get this UI? It wasn't like this. Yes, it wasn't like this. So it's just taking a screenshot and asking the AI to do exactly what you want. We are not in 2019. Okay, so this is the new way to code. And all right, so what I do next is I create a switch for dark mode and light mode. All right, so I tell AI to just create a switch for dark mode and light mode, and also add, what do you call it, different language selections, because any app I'm trying to build, I just look at the options of adding other languages. So this is Spanish and this is French, and this is the dark mode version. As you can see, beautifully done. All right, and I'm going to go back to light mode. So you can just build your app logic. I don't know what app you're going to build, but yeah, of course you can use the same method. And this is just for the UI, as I said. All right, so we are going to go back to Cursor or VS Code and work on the front end more, okay, and do hosting and all that stuff. So just kindly subscribe, because this is free content, or this is free. So kindly subscribe and hit the like button if you've watched to this level. I'm going to bring you more content like this, and we are going to do backend as well. So this is just the front end, as I'm saying. All right, so let's go ahead and test this app. Let's see if it's actually working. So I'm going to head on to my task, and I'm going to add a new task. So this is our task today. Okay, we have to finish this front end class. So if you are with me, just focus on this task. We are going to finish it. Like and subscribe, and let's add a task. Right, and I think we have set the priorities here, and it is medium. You can set it high, and let's go back. I don't want to create unfinished task now. So this is a 2 pending task. Okay, and you can also schedule a class and pick from the dates. And let's test the recording as well. So this is the recording tab. When you click it, I think it's going to give you permission to allow. Okay, so you can allow, and obviously it's recording. Okay, this is recording, and I didn't enter any prompt or any code anyway, because we have vibe coding. All right, so at this point we are done with the front end. I can do more on Cursor, so let's just go straight. You can save to GitHub, right? You can save to GitHub, but we are going to do that in VS Code. All right, so just download your app. Right? So if you did a mistake, you can roll back to previous version. All right, you can roll back to previous version here, and this is going to deploy your app on Firebase directly. But I want to be technical, so we are going to go back to VS Code or Cursor and do everything there. All right, so let's go and download the app. That's what we are going to do. So when you click on the download, you see it is here as a zip file. So once you download your app, just go back to your directory. All right, so once you have Cursor, and mind you, you can also use anti-gravity. All right, so this is anti-gravity. Just hit on the download button. I'm not going to do that because I already have it. Then you can use it as well. So it's also similar to Cursor, but you have some free create it to use, and you can use it to do what we are going to do. So let's get it and let's go back to our cursor. If you're using Gravity to just open it, you get same or similar interfaces, but it's not like cursor. So let's drop our directory. When I say directory, I mean the file that we created, right? So you can just click on file section here or open project here, right? So you can open a folder here or open project, the same thing. So once you open cursor, this is the dashboard. So this section, this panel here is for terminal. Terminal is where you write your command prompt and all that stuff. So we are going to need terminal, and this is for browser. You can open your browser here so that you are going to see whatever you are coding. Okay, or you can also show your codes too, right? Yes, so this place can show your code as well as your browser. And let me just run it through. So this is Vite, and before you start with this React app, please, you have to install Node.js. So let's let's go ahead and install Node.js. You have to install Node.js, okay, because it is one of the dependencies that you're going to use in building your mobile app. So just search Node.js on Google and you have it. All you have to do is download Node.js and install and accept their license, and you're good to go. So this is our Vite Node.js, and this is our TypeScript. You don't need to know about TypeScript. This is our README file. So this is like a guide. Okay, README files are like a guide. This is package JSON and all our packages that we are going to use. You can see we are using React is here. We are using Google Gemini is also here. Alright, and this is index.js. Okay, so this is our homepage itself, okay, which is index.html, and this is our React, and this is where we are going to export everything and import all components. So this app.tsx is basically a React app. Okay, so it's going to import and export our components, okay, to the front end. This is gitignore. Gitignore is like files that are here are not going to be deployed to the cloud. Okay, so people on GitHub are not going to see files that are here. And local.env, this is where you store your API keys and those keys, and the rest you're going to know more as we are going on. This is our component dashboard to do. That's one beautiful thing about React. You're able to create your components and reuse them. Okay, you're able to create your components, and it's easier to edit sections of your web app without touching the whole code base. You just come to your component and you edit whatever you want to edit. Alright. So GitHub is where we store files, alright, where we store code. Basically, it's very powerful. You can get inspirations from there. You can also get free code, open source code from there. So if you don't have GitHub, just search github.com, sign in for a free account, and what we are going to do is we are going to add a new repository. So just when you see this green button here, beautiful one, click on it, and let's create our repo name. So we are going to give it a name, Todo App. Okay, so this is our repo name if you want, and with this public, you can choose public or private. If you want to make money with your app, you definitely need to keep it private, right? And if it's a free open source project that you want people to fetch it, then leave it to public. So I'm going to give it private for now, and let's create a repo. So this repo has been created. You definitely need to copy this command. Okay, you can copy it or you can hit it one after the other. It works. Alright, so copy everything with this one. Click here, go back to your terminal and paste it here. So we have to make sure we are in our project directory, which is Todo App. and let's paste this command here and hit on enter, and it's going to put your project to GitHub. Okay, and refresh. So after we created our Git commit, I realized my files don't have CSS. Okay, so I went ahead and talked to Kesa to create a new CSS component so that I can work on my CSS individually. Okay, so this was what went on. It was asking if to create a model or a plain CSS. So the model is like component based for each other component. So each component will get their CSS, and the plain is going to just create one CSS, app. Okay, one CSS component to apply to every other component. Okay, but I chose the model ones. So this is going to just create a universal CSS. Okay, universal CSS to apply to the whole app, and therefore it's going to go ahead and create one after the other also CSS. So this is going to work, and with this green means that is the additions that AI has made. So AI made, Kesa made these additions. If you're using anti-gravity, it will make these as additions, and you are going to see them in the colors. The red and other things means something has been taken off. So sometimes it's still editing, as you can see, it's still editing the code. So it takes out the red section and it replaces with the green section. So this is live coding, and if you're using anti-gravity, you're going to see the same changes if you prompt it to create individual components. Okay, individual components for your specific files. You want it to create CSS basically for your specific component. So you can see it just started with creating the dashboard CSS. So initially it was picking out the CSS and class names, and it's going to compile everything to one component with dashboard.css. This is very powerful. Okay, I don't have to type any code. Alright, so if you are looking for CSS class, this is a sign that you need to start building. This is a sign that you need to start building. You don't need to wait for CSS class before you start building. Alright, just know what you want to do, describe it, and AI is going to help you run everything. This is free content, so kindly like and subscribe. So you can see it's still working, and it has created timetable.css. So this is CSS properties for our timetable. So after everything, I'm going to deploy it, and we are going to see everything again. Obviously, you've already seen what the Gemini did initially, so we are going to also deploy it with React, and it also takes different prompts and commands to deploy it. So just follow up gradually, and let's go. Okay, so we are here. Started from the bottom, now we're here, and what it did was to create a separate CSS files instead of using Tailwind CSS. So this is my preference. Okay, so separate CSS files is what we did. Recorder.css, dashboard.css, timetable.css, to-do.css. So if you had inline CSS from Tailwind, that is, if Gemini gave you inline CSS and you are okay with it, you can keep it that way. And if you don't, you can just copy this prompt, give it a screenshot, copy it, and tell it to create a separate CSS files, so that when you go to your to-do UI, you can edit the flex, the font size, everything, even the colors, you can edit them directly instead of having to scroll through all this line of code and look for the inline CSS. That can be very stressful. So that is one benefit of React. You can edit them component based. Alright, so I am going to push this new this new CSS to GitHub. Alright, so if you don't know what GitHub is, you probably have skipped the video, so you have to go back and watch this GitHub video, or the GitHub session. So this is, I just press enter to give more spacing. Okay, so you can add a new PowerShell terminal. a prompt. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to check which branch of GitHub that we're in. So I'm going to use Git branch. So Git branch, and it says we are in the main branch. Okay, so I'm going to commit all my files. So git add slash space dot. Okay. So the next commit is git commit, right, -m. So git commit message. Okay, and I'm going to give it a message of CSS components. So you have to put it in a quote and close the quote. So you start the quote, write your message, and you close the quote and press enter. And the next is git push origin. Alright, so git push origin, and the origin name. Origin means your branch, and if you don't know what your branch is, you can just scroll up, right, and look for your branch, which is the main. So remember, we did a git branch to check what our branch is. Okay, so yeah, this is a quick tip, and I'm going to show you how to create new branches too. So it's main, so just enter main here and you go. So it's going to push it to the cloud, which is GitHub. So what GitHub does is you can literally pick any PC and start, working on your project. You can work from anywhere in the world when you push your project to GitHub. But if you don't do that, it stays on your PC, and without your PC, you cannot work. So let's come back to GitHub and let's refresh. Alright, so as you can see, this is CSS component. That is our new commit. Okay, so let's click on it, CSS component, and let's see. These are the changes and additions. You can see so many additions because we added so many components, navigation components and CSS and all that. Okay, so this is how we do git push. Alright, so at this point, we've been able to successfully push to Git, make some changes. So let's start our developing project. Okay, so the prompt we are going to use is npm install. Okay, which is going to install our dependencies. So just input npm install and it is going to work for you. You can as well ask Keza to do everything straight ahead for you. You just have to type your prompt here, and this is ask mode, so you just change it to agent mode. If it's agent mode, leave it at agent mode, and as you can see, it's installing for us. So npm install is the node that we installed. Okay, dependencies that's going to help us run or build our web app. So this is it. It is done with 0 vulnerabilities. Okay, so after it's done installing, let's go ahead and run it with npm run dev. So what npm run dev is going to do is to make us use local. Okay, this is npm run dev, which is for node scripts. Okay, and with the new Keza update, you can simply edit directly in the browser version. Okay, so we are launching. This is our app that we started with our Gemini, and if you are using an older version of Keza, you might not have this feature, but with the new version, you can as well see everything here, and you can edit straightforward like you do with Figma or some other web building app like Squarespace and all that. So you can also copy this link. You can also copy the link and paste it here. Right, localhost, and it's going to launch our app for us right in our browser. Okay, so as you can see, this is localhost. It means it's on your computer. Okay, this is not in the cloud yet, so we are going to also put it in the cloud using Firebase. So that is going to be our next task. So if you are not able to install, you can just also type your prompt here. You can type your prompt to push to GitHub. After you created your Git repo, you put the ID here and to push to GitHub. And with the same thing, when you have problems with this, any problem with the code, you can just ask ChatGPT, or you can ask your cursor. Okay, you change it to ask mode. Ask mode instead of agent mode. Ask mode is a green. You're going to ask all your questions. Okay, then you can use the agent mode to directly make the changes. So we are going to go to Firebase and sign in for a free account, and we are going to go to the build. All right, you go to build and you go to Firebase app hosting and you get started. So Firebase, we are going to use a free domain. Actually, you are going to get a free domain to use free of charge, websites for free, and this is free content, so kindly like and subscribe. Right, so these are my projects. I have another project here, but we are going to create a new project, and this is I don't really know the name to give it, but it's a Todo App, right? Yeah, so of course Todo App, and let's click on continue. Enable Gemini and Firebase, blah blah blah, and continue. Let's set account. Okay, so after creating our project, you have to click on build here and you click on hosting, and it's going to add hosting to your shortcut projects. Okay, so you can do functions for backend authentication and all that, and we're going to do that later in the late courses. All right, so this is Firebase hosting. Let's get started with Firebase hosting, and what we are going to do is to run this command. All right, so let's run this command: npm install g firebase tools. So normally I like to use a different terminal for some specific commits or commands. So let's create a new terminal and let's install Firebase tools. Alright, so our Firebase has been successfully installed. It's added 3 packages, it removed 14 packages, changed 700 and blah 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 packages. Alright, so definitely everything went on in our package JSON folder. That's where we store our packages. So we are going to click on next, and our next prompt is Firebase login. Right, so let's go ahead and Firebase login. So we are going to log into Firebase. Already logged in. Okay, so what I like to do is to log out and log in again to prevent any rough, or errors. Okay. Firebase logout. It's a, let's say, best practice, right? And let's log in again. And let's do all this configuration again. So we are going to log into our accounts that we created. So if you don't have a Firebase account, all you have to do is to create a new account, alright? Alright, so we are logged into Firebase. And let's continue with Firebase init. Alright, so this is it. This is Firebase initializing in my project. So after we are done, all we have to do is to build. Okay, so npm run build. So this is going to build our Firebase and everything that went on. So after we build, then we have to deploy. Okay, So let's go ahead and deploy. So after Firebase has been installed, let's go ahead and create our Firebase hosting. So we are going to use an existing project because we already have the project, and the project is what? Todo App. Okay, so you want to create public directory. No, and it says Firebase is complete. And let's go ahead and deploy Firebase. So yeah, it's going to finalize and deploy. Alright, so when you are done with the processes, your Firebase project should be deployed and live on the internet. So what you have done is actually you can just copy this URL and send it to your friends and family. See what you've done. You've actually built something on the internet. So this domain is live. Okay, let's open it and check it ourselves. So this is our app live on the internet. You know, these numbers are here because Todo App is a generic name. People use it a lot. So imagine you're using a different name, like maybe even if I rotated the name, I would have gotten Todo App with this without any numbers, okay, to really identify my domain. Okay, so I can change it later. And if you're also building your app, just make sure when you're selecting your app name, you use something that is not already in the system. You already know how to do this. Alright, so our project is live. We didn't pay anything. Okay, so you can use this process to build your portfolio for your business or any other kind of businesses you want. I've just saved you dollars here. Alright, so kindly like and subscribe. You know, this is a free content. That is it. If you come to Firebase, you go to hosting, you'll see that you are getting 2 free domains from Firebase. So if you have a website, you want to build a portfolio, you can just use Firebase and get free hosting. This is going to save you some dollars. Alright, so let's go back into our project directories and let's push to GitHub. Let's put the new changes. So the new changes can be pushed on this angle here. When you check this place, source control, you can see you can write a message here. You can generate AI messages to define your new changes, and you can commit to Git, push to GitHub instead of typing, coming to the terminal and type all the Git init, blah blah blah, all that stuff. You can just use one push and it is going to push it to GitHub. And when it pushes, I'll go and check, and you can see it will be updated to GitHub. Alright, so as you can see here, it has pushed the new changes to GitHub. Alright, so let's go back to GitHub, refresh. So as you can see, Firebase is here now. Okay, Firebase is here. So there are other ways of pushing your project to GitHub. So you can use your terminal, or you can just go straight to extensions and use control source to push everything. So there we go. This project is live. Okay, it's live and you can start using it as how you want it. So definitely go ahead and try other things, try and make few changes and work on your app. And with the next episode, I'm going to show you. So this project is actually live. Alright, live on the web. You can search this domain and you are going to get the project. Alright, so if you don't understand anything, you can just use ask mode or agent mode to rectify or your confusions. The next I'm going to do is to add more logic to my web app and edit some of the UI functionalities, and that is the video I'm going to paste or post next. So kindly like and subscribe and don't miss anything. So what have we learned today? Today we learned how to create our new web app. You can build a new portfolio. You can build any kind of web app you want. Just leverage AI and do it. All right. We are also able to host our web app to get to Firebase for free without paying any domain name. And we also were able to paste or upload our code to the cloud so that we can work from anywhere in the world. Alright, so this is free content, so don't forget to like and subscribe.